Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I can't believe we are halfway through July. I don't feel like it's this far into the year, this far into the month, but here we are. And I'm feeling like so far it's been a great year. I hope all of you guys are also having a great year. And if you're not, we're here to talk about it and we're here to help you take steps in the right direction for your healing. I hope you guys can hear me. I know there's been a couple issues with sound and stuff. So yes, hello, good morning, David. I hope you guys can hear me and I'm not blurry and nothing's wrong. I swear I keep the same settings and sometimes it just shifts and I don't know why. But those of you that are new, this is just a nice little opportunity for us to check in, share our wins, share our struggles, ask questions, really anything pertaining to mental health. We also share some good news, and the stream is to raise money to help people in the community or in my personal community here in Phoenix with their mental health. And it's been so rewarding since we started doing this. So the goal every week is to raise $250 to be able to help people in the community that are needing help with their mental health. So this week has been pretty awesome, or the last couple weeks have been pretty awesome for that. There was a veteran and a single mom who had been sexually assaulted 2 years ago, and she was really struggling with processing that and with moving past that trauma. And traditional therapy just hadn't been really effective for either of them. Really, both of them had been in therapy. They're completely unrelated, so it was weird that I ended up coming across both these people, but because of the community, because the donations here used from the super chat and super sticker function, I was able to get packages for EMDR therapy for both of them. That's eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So it's really amazing for people who've been through trauma. I've used it myself and it's very helpful for people that have been through trauma and maybe traditional therapy isn't working. It's a great other option. So I was able to get those packages for those people thanks to you guys. With that being said, the super chat and super sticker function is also not just a great way to help with the community and help with the outreach, but it's also the best way to make me see your message because it gets really crazy. Already people are trying to scare me with the spiders. Thanks a lot, Francisco, but a lot of hellos. And it can get kind of crazy in here. So if you use the super chat or super sticker function, it will highlight your message so I can see it. So you're helping a good cause and making sure that I see your message. Just keep in mind that any insight or advice or anything that I give is just based on my experience and the experiences of others that I've talked to and worked with. I'm not a professional yet, so this is just my insight and my wisdom. So please, if you are needing professional help, make sure that you are reaching out and getting that because you deserve it. But we are here for you every step of your journey, no matter where you're at. Thank you, Creole. Thank you so much. Forgot I need to keep track. I know David will too, but I'm crazy like that. And yes, I keep track of everything the old school way. The old school way of writing things down. And now I can do so. If you haven't been following my Instagram with all these pretty markers, look at all I've been getting back into journaling, specifically kind of bullet journaling in a sense. So I have all these pretty colors. If you're not following me over on Instagram, I had about 11,000 followers, and Instagram deleted my account for my mental health topics and posts. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it would really help if you do that and help me build the community back up over there. Right now, I'm just about 500, but I'm posting my actual journal posts over there. So I don't want to post the one I haven't posted yet for today. But this has been really fun because it's given me kind of an awesome way to share helpful information, but also get my own artistic vibes, I suppose. So this was one of the journal entries that I had done that I just posted last week. So this is actually a really helpful thing to remember if you're in times of intense struggle. It's accept, so it's different things that you can do. If you're dreading something, that's when I use it. But really, if you're struggling and you're just needing some skills. So here are some skills for you if you want to check this out. It's over on my Instagram. So good morning, everyone. Happy sunny Friday afternoon. It is indeed very sunny here in beautiful Arizona. It is currently 113 degrees. So yes, it is very sunny here, but I've been enjoying it. Even if it's not perfect and it's not comfortable, we can still find ways to enjoy it, right? Sometimes the best things we can do is have that stoic mindset or the stoicism mindset of just sitting with the discomfort and learning to get through it. Thank you, Devin. Dog Gaming says, hey, Amanda, I was just watching a reaction to My Heart is Broken when I got the ping for this live stream. It's like Amandaception. Okay, where'd all the messages go? All of a sudden, just all the messages disappeared. Weird. Oh, there we go. Marco Warco says, I've stopped in a couple times before. I mostly watch your reactions to music. Well, welcome. Any part of the community you want to delve into or you want to participate in is perfectly fine. No pressure to come into the live streams. No pressure to join Instagram. No pressure to join the Happiness Boost course or any of that. Whatever you need is here for you. So that's why I like to do different things, is so that everyone has something that really helps them, that relates to them, that calls to them. So that's why I have kind of different aspects of the community. Matthew Azaria says, I recently decided that I'm going to be trying out for The Voice. Snaps for you for taking that leap. The song that I'll do is She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes. It's a song about perceiving substance hoax as religious experience. Very interesting. I've never heard about it, but sounds like an interesting song. And I'm very proud of you for taking a leap like that and taking a chance. You never know. If you don't try and you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Hello, Alicia. At least not dealing with poor air quality from Canadian wildfires. I was when I was in Wyoming back in the end of May, when I was in Wyoming and South Dakota. I was dealing with those fires and stuff. The interesting thing is I know that the air quality is down, and I know that that in and of itself can cause certain health concerns. Believe me, my dad survived not very long after, but he survived the Rodeo Chesky fire, which was a fire here in Arizona that burnt, I believe, about 400 and some odd thousand acres. And we had to be evacuated, and the skies were just completely cloudy, completely smoky. But I just remember loving the smell of the smoke. And even when I was in Wyoming, I knew that, yes, it's hazy and it can cause respiratory problems. And I knew I had to stay inside most of the time. But just being able to go outside every now and then and smell the fire and say, okay, this is tragic that this is happening, but I can enjoy some aspect of it. So I could appreciate that it was a tragedy, but I could also find something positive in the moment because I love the smell of fire. Let's see. Narha says, I feel not so good. I have some hard times in my life. I have problems with peers in school. I have holidays now, but bad memorial don't want to go away. What should I do? So I'm kind of confused if your question is what to do with the problems at the peers in school. I'm just wanting to know what to focus on in that answer, whether the peers in school or the bad memories, because those are two completely separate things, and we can definitely touch on both of them. But I was wondering if you were wanting me to touch on one specifically. So just let me know and I will do so. And Francisco says you can cook outside for free in that kind of temperature. Funny you say that. I had an experiment with a friend quite a few years ago now. I think it was 2013. I think it was about 2013 or 2014. We literally baked cookies in the car. We literally baked cookies on the dashboard of my car. So yes, you can. I don't know if you can cook an egg on the pavement, but I know that you can bake cookies. Ashley Book says, depression's been kicking my butt lately, really hard to get out of bed these days. I actually made a video a while back. It is a-okay if you can't get out of bed on some days. And there's still some things you can do for your mental health, even from bed. I have gone through so much and found so much healing in my journey and my process. And there's still some days where I just get knocked off my feet and I have to just kind of hang out in bed and do the best I can. And that's completely okay. But you want to be trying to incorporate at least some little things to be building yourself back up during that time. So in the video, I suggest things such as meditation, because that doesn't take a lot of energy. There's an app that I use called Insight Timer. It's completely free on my phone that I can just sit there and listen to meditations or or even guided meditations. Those are very helpful. I have some affirmation videos here on the channel, so those can be very helpful. If you just search affirmations on my channel, you should be able to find that. But there's a lot of things that you can do. You can read, you can do a little bit of bed yoga, just a little bit of gentle stretching, opening up your muscles, because that's still increasing blood flow. It's still helping you. So there are still things that you can do from bed that will be moving you in the right direction. Journaling, there's so many options. So don't be so hard on yourself if you are stuck in bed right now. Just try to make the best of it and do something positive, even one thing today positive for your mental health. Try and get one win in today, even if it's from bed, because you can. I also am known to binge Duolingo lessons if I'm having those days. I'll binge Duolingo lessons. One, because it gives me a win in of itself that, oh, I maybe learned a new word, or I completed this many lessons. So it gives me that confidence. It gives me that sense of accomplishment. But on the same token, when I'm doing these exercises, it gives me something else to focus on. When my brain's trying to conjugate verbs in French, I'm not going to be thinking about my challenges and my problems. So thank you, David, for posting those. So there's the links to those videos. David was nice enough to post those. So Nahra says, they were making fun of me. They think I'm a freak. I was bullied so hard growing up. I was physically and mentally bullied at different points during my academic career, and it can really tear down our self-esteem. It can really be stressful. It can create a lot of fear in our life. And I'm really sorry that you're going through that. I'm sorry on behalf of humans that you went through that, and that those people are putting you in a state where you feel like you're not good enough and you're not worth it. But here's the deal with bullies is it's not you, it's them. Nobody who is healthy themselves is going to pick on someone else and make them feel bad. So if someone's picking on you, if someone's calling you names, if someone's saying nasty things about you, that's because they have their own insecurities and their own problems and their own challenges that they're not working through. So we can choose to let that tear us down, or we can choose to say, hey, this person's hurting. I get attacked frequently in email or here in the comments. And I've gotten to the point where I just understand that that person's clearly hurting. And when someone's hurting, they lash out. So here's an interesting thing about anger. Anger isn't a primary emotion. So when someone's feeling angry, it's because they're afraid, they're sad, something else is going on. So you are amazing. And the more you can focus on that, make a list of the reasons that you're amazing. And I know that might be hard, but even if you have to ask friends, even if you don't believe it at first, even if it's just one tiny little thing, like I'm a really good artist, or I am a really good writer, or I am really good at dealing with anxiety attacks specifically. Like maybe everything else in your mental realm is in shambles, but if you're really good at, I can breathe through an anxiety attack. I did really well with that. Write down the things that are amazing about you. And then when those people say nasty things, you can think in your head, yeah, that's not true. They're just hurting. And it's still going to affect you. And if you can disengage from those people, of course, that's always the first course of action. But putting competing thoughts in your head when people are saying nasty things is so helpful. When I go through my comments, because I make it a point to reply to all my comments, and sometimes it takes me a bit to do that because I only go in a couple times a week. But when I reply to my comments, I kind of get that mindset of, Amanda, people are going to say nasty things about you. There are going to be mean, hateful comments this week. But I know that I'm helping people. I know that I'm doing something good. I know I'm authentic. I don't need them to validate me that I'm authentic. I don't need them to tell me how amazing I am. If these people are saying, you're faking, you're ugly, you're not good enough, why are you doing this? That's on them. Clearly they're insecure about something. So in the beginning, before I start doing the comments, say, okay, people are going to say nasty things, but that doesn't need to affect me because I know it's not true. Even if for a while I did believe that it was true, oh, maybe I'm not doing anything, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not pretty enough. I believed that for a long time. But now, before and after, when dealing with those comments, when engaging in that, I will say, okay, here's my affirmations. Here's the things I know are awesome about me. And that really helps. So if in the morning before school, you read your list or you do these affirmations. And at the end of the day, after school, you also do these affirmations and say, you know what? These people said these things, but it didn't affect me. I don't need to let it affect me. I'm a little esoteric at times about things like this. And I like to actually envision myself putting up a shield. So when I go into situations that I know are going to be emotionally challenging or that I know is going to involve people that are going to try and tear me down, I like to literally not even just imagine, literally put a shield around me. So physically use my hands to just put an energetic shield around me while I'm visualizing that protection. So I'm actually putting a shield around. Or maybe if you have, I don't know where you're at, so how feasible this is, if you have a sweater that comforts you, or if you have a necklace, or if you have something that you feel could energetically shield you from those people, it can act as a symbol of when those people start saying nasty things. You can say, well, I have this protection right now. I have this protection. I have my shield. You ain't going to get to me, because that's what they want, the reaction. They want you to get upset. That's why they do it. I hope I didn't just go off on too much of a ramble there. I just realized, there's so many more messages. Adam says, I'm having a struggle with my wife's passing away, and it's taking a toll on me, especially when trying to care for a daughter with mental health problems. Of course, it's taking a toll on you. It would take a toll on anyone. I'm really sorry for your loss. I hope that we can help keep your wife's memory alive. So feel free to share any memories that you have of her, special memories, really emotionally charged memories, good or bad. We would love to hear about those so we can help keep her alive. With that being said, first and foremost, your daughter's going to be struggling too, especially if she had pre-existing mental health conditions prior to this passing. And this is a time for you guys to really bond. And it's going to be difficult because emotions will be very heightened, but this is a time where you guys need to come together, not push apart. So if she's really struggling with her mental health right now, really listen and ask, is there something I can do? Do you want to talk about your mom? Do you want to maybe do something for her? Do you want to watch her favorite movie? Or do you just need space right now? Do you just need time for yourself? Make sure that she's getting the support she needs, whether that's professionally or just maybe making some suggestions like, hey, maybe we can start a memory journal together of your mom, so that way we can keep that alive. That really helped me when my mom passed away, was keeping a memory journal of every little single thing I could think about. It was, I remember that time when we went out to lunch and tried this new plate, this new dish, right? So it was just every single thing I could think of. Or I remember this time when she said this and she gave me this advice. It was just little things, every little thing I could think of. I wrote that down, and that really helped me to cope. But I always say with grieving, I actually did make a vlog on Mother's Day last year that has a lot of tips for grieving that I highly suggest you watch, because it's the things I wish I would have known when my mom passed away. And one of the biggest things is, do not try to force yourself to get back on your routine on anyone else's timeline. So people might pressure you to go back to work, or pressure you to get back into certain routines, pressure you to go out to dinner or something. There might be a lot of pressure to do certain things. But if you need to take time off, or you need to do something specific to process, it is nobody else's timeline but yours. So make sure that you're taking time and you're giving your daughter time. Don't try to say, hey, let's try to feel better right now. Instead, say, hey, it's okay if we don't feel okay right now, because grief is the hardest thing that we as humans have to deal with. It's just completely crippling. And we have to hold space for that. And we have to hold space for others for that. So our instinct, especially as parents, is to try to cheer that person up when sometimes they just need to feel the feeling. So maybe they need to listen to a song and cry. Maybe they need to, journal and get it all out. Maybe they're angry and they just need to punch a pillow or scream or go on a run. Making sure that we're honoring the emotions that are coming up and not trying to brush them aside. That's my best suggestion when it comes to grief. But again, that video, which I'm sure, yes, David, thank you, has posted here. David posted this link. That video has a lot of tips for grieving. Thank you so much, David. David says, testing comments, bullies suck. Bullies do, in fact, suck. I had to deal with 2. So I was bullied really hard. I mean, thank you, Ryan. Hello. I've dealt with several bullies in my life, but in my school academic career, I remember 2 specifically. and I won't say any names or anything because I might have people from my hometown on here, but it caused a lot of trauma and it really broke down my self-esteem too. So I'm not just giving BS advice, like fortune cookie advice. I'm giving advice based on the things I wished I would have known or the different insights I wished I would have had at that time. Krista, it's good to see you here. Krista says, I just started HRT yesterday, Sister Soldier. I'm on my transition journey. Finally just took my 3rd dose earlier. Very good. I'm proud of you. I really wish you the best, and I hope that this helps you connect to yourself and this helps you love yourself. I hope that this really helps you on your mental health journey. So thank you for sharing this process with us and allowing us to be here for you. I think it's been amazing to watch you grow, and as you know by now, there's always struggles on the path. There's always challenges. There's always roadblocks, but we still keep chugging and you're doing amazing. So snaps, preemptive snaps. I want to do our win. We haven't done a win yet. And I want to share a win. We always like to do a weekly win. So something good going on in the world. And I just thought that this was really awesome. So French to get bonus to make, do, and mend clothes. France is launching a bonus scheme to persuade consumers to repair their clothes and worn out shoes rather than throwing them away and buying new ones. From October, the bonus will come in the form of a discount worth between €6 and €25 per repair. Bérangère Couillard, who is the junior ecology minister, complained that 700,000 tons of clothing ended up in landfill in France every year, and I'm willing to bet it's even worse here in the US. The government is to contribute €154 million to fund the bonus over 5 years. Ms. Couillard urged all sewing workshops and shoemakers to join the system, which will offer a rebate of €7 for a new heel and €10 to €25 for new lining in a jacket, skirt, or other garment. The aim is to support the repair sector and create new jobs. I think this is amazing, and it kind of ties into mental health because we have this throwaway mentality that, okay, if this isn't working, I'm just going to throw it away. If this shirt has a little hole in it, I'm just going to throw it away. If my jeans have a stain on them, I'm just going to throw them away and I'm going to buy new ones. And it creates this mentality of, okay, when something's wrong, we just throw it away and move on. Now, there is value to that. Now, if something's really not serving you, like there's a huge hole in the crotch of my pants and I can't keep wearing them without exposing myself to the world, that's an opportunity to say, okay, maybe I can do something else with these. I used to take my jeans that weren't wearable anymore and I'd cut them in strips and make them into dog toys, which is great for bigger dogs because they can't tear apart the denim as quick. So I donate that to local rescues and stuff. But I remember as a kid, we were always pushing recycle, reduce, reuse. What happened to that? Because I think that when we learn to work with what we have, as opposed to saying, I need something new, that's a huge mindset shift. Because if you're constantly saying, oh, that didn't work, I need something new. Oh, that didn't work, I need something new. You're never going to create a system or cycle that works for you mentally because you're constantly be saying, well, I went to this therapy appointment and it didn't work, so I've got to try something new. I'm just going to throw that idea away. Where, yes, we should be mindful of the things that work and the things that don't, and we should be acting accordingly. But I think that being able to stick with things, being able to be appreciative of what we have instead of thinking that we constantly need new things is huge. So I really like that story. I think that's awesome. I hope something like that picks up here in the US. We have a lot of consignment stores and, of course, thrift stores and stuff like that where you can get secondhand clothes. I really wish, especially the thrift stores, would lower their prices because all of this stuff is free for them, like Goodwill. All of their items are donated to them. So it doesn't make sense to me that they're raising their prices so drastically because the only cost they have is the overhead of the buildings and stuff and paying their CEO astronomical amounts of money. But I really feel like we could be doing more to encourage people to stop just consuming, buying into this consumer society and buying new things all the time. So I think that this is really amazing. What do you guys think? Do you engage in practices like that? Because I love finding awesome consignment finds or secondhand finds. As a matter of fact, my favorite pair of shoes, I'm going to post a picture of these over on the community. They're adorable. They're heels and they have these dragon prints on them. And they're fabric, so they have kind of an Asian look to it. It's not cheap plastic or something. They have this Asian feel to them, and I got them probably 15 years ago, and I don't wear them super, super often, but they're one of my favorite finds. And I love being able to put them on in the summer, spring, sometimes in the fall if I can find the right occasion, and rocking them. And my new shoes that I bought, geez, I haven't bought new shoes in a while, but when I do buy new shoes, geez, it's probably even Bryston's new shoes were about $40 for a 12-year-old. But let's see, the last time I bought new shoes, I think they were about $80. These heels that have lasted me forever and that are adorable were $7, I think. So not only is it more economical, but it's just more, for me, it's more satisfying. You can get more bang for your buck, but I feel good because I'm not just buying into this consumerist mindset that we just need to keep purchasing new things and increasing the supply and demand chain. I just don't think that we need to be producing as much as we do. I think that we could probably think about it. This country could probably thrive on the clothes that are in thrift stores and stuff. Every person in this country could probably thrive for a decent amount of time without having to go buy brand new clothes, especially when it comes to kids. I cannot process the concept of buying brand new clothes for all the time for babies and children. And they're growing so fast that I saw a pair of toddler shoes the other day as I happened to just be walking through a store, and I want to say they were $50, and I'm just, what on earth? Why would you pay $50 for these shoes that are maybe going to last them 6 months? That just makes no sense to me. David says, remember when holes in clothes was a trendy look? See, that's the thing, is if I have jeans that get holes, I will intentionally just fray them and create more holes and just make them look distressed, maybe bedazzle them a little bit. I would not throw away a pair of jeans because they have holes, but I know people that do that. Matthew says, the issue of trauma is like a twisted set of Christmas lights. When one light lights up or triggers, all of them do. It's absolutely true. And you have to, it's like when you're putting up those lights, and they won't turn on, and then you have to go through every light to figure out which one needs to be replaced. It's like that. It is time consuming, but it's very, very worth it when you do find that light, because then you get to have this beautiful, bright strand bringing joy to your home, so it does have a payoff in the end. And it's the same for us. When we can find that light that needs to be replaced, when we can find that skill that we need to learn, we can find that specific thing that helps us, then we can light our own fire, then we can become that bright beacon. Jake says, rid the consumer mindset. I agree. And I'm really trying to move away from that. So I think that is something that's very helpful, because it's helpful for the environment, but it's also helpful for our wallets and for our mindset. And that's something I don't think a lot of people think of, is when we engage in activities, those activities create certain mindsets, even if they're completely unrelated. So I'm going to use yoga, for example, because that's something I think everybody can understand on some level, even if they don't practice it. So the whole point of yoga is when you are on your mat and you get into a pose, like let's say we're doing tree pose. Tree pose is a balancing pose. It's where you stand on one leg, make a pledge, and I'll do tree pose for you. It's when you're standing on one leg and you're trying to find balance, right? Now you can take that concept off the mat, because you're standing there, and if it's the first time you've done tree pose, you're probably going to need a wall because you're not going to have good balance. You haven't practiced it, right? And there's also different levels of tree pose that, again, make a pledge and I'll show you, but you can put your feet at different points up your leg, just not over your knee, and help that way build your stability. Now, yes, that helps you physically, but building that mindset of, okay, I can find balance. I can build up the skill. I can take this idea now off the mat. So if I am trying to balance being a mom and going to school, that's going to be challenging when I first incorporate both those things. But it's, okay, what do I need? Do I need help? Do I need to lean on the wall? Do I need to maybe dial it down somehow and adjust and take a different version of the posture, like a less intense version of the posture? Those things correlate into your life. So the things you're engaging in, if you have, again, this mindset of we're just going to throw things away all the time, that's going to start speaking to other points of your life. So be very mindful of the things that you engage in. Oh, here we go. Taylor just pledged $20 for tree pose. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys tree pose. So here's your yoga lesson for the day. So tree pose is actually pretty awesome. It's one of my favorites. So this is traditional tree pose, right? So you have your foot, you're standing straight. So I'll do it from this side. You're standing straight. It might not look like I'm standing straight because I have a little bit of a sway back, but I promise I am. So you're standing straight. You want to make sure that your hip bones are forward. So you're pressing your pelvis forward a little bit. And your foot can either be here. It can be here below the knee. Oh, I need a little bit more space. Or you can simply have it here. And it can be like a little tripod, like a little kickstand of sorts, right? But like I was saying, if you're just now starting this, you might be here in kickstand and you might be leaning on a wall. That's totally okay, right? That's completely fine. That's a good place to start. Like with your mental health, you're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. You have to be building those things. So whether you're here, or up here, see, I still have to. There's some people that don't need to do that can just lift their foot up. I still need to pull my foot up with my hand. And sometimes because of these pants are a little slippery, hold my foot here. So there's different options, and you can actually, I don't know if I can do it, you can actually put your foot here. If you can hold it, you can put your foot here. This is a little bit more advanced. And look at me, I'm still wobbling. I've done yoga for years. I'm still wobbling. Again, that's okay. The most important thing is that you're rooting through that foot. So you're really finding your balance in this foot. You're rooting through that foot. You're feeling connected. And then wherever your other foot lands is a-okay. And you can watch yourself grow and watch yourself move forward and advance over time, or not. It doesn't really matter. But now you can take that off your mat. How can you find balance in other ways? Are you going to need to adjust? Are you going to need help? You can move that into other areas of your life. Thanks, Dave. Hi, Tyler. I do wavy tree pose, mid-hurricane windy tree pose. Here's the awesome thing about that. My favorite tree is the palm tree, because even in the middle of a hurricane, that tree will touch the ground. The wind blows it so hard, it almost touches the ground, but it doesn't break. So that's why I love a palm tree so much, and I love thinking about that, is it doesn't break. So you can be windy palm tree when you're in tree pose because you're not breaking. Marco says the low riding cargo pants and chain wallets. My dad had a chain wallet. And there was a Jeff Foxworthy skit one time that said, if your dog and your wallet are both on a chain, you might be a redneck. And my dad just kind of touches his chain wallet. We didn't have a dog, and if we did, we would have kept him on a chain, but just kind of touches his wallet chain and goes, oh. Not that there was any question whether or not we were all rednecks, but it was really, really cute. So we're about halfway. 30. So we're at 42. Am I right? 20, 30. We're at 42 of our 250 goals. So we're about the halfway mark. I think it's time to do snaps. We've already had some amazing wins here in the community. I love it, love it, love it. There's no way. No way what, Ryan? I don't understand what you were responding to. Metalmark says, if she puts her arms out and she's outside, will birds maybe land? That'd be awesome, like Snow White style. So Edward, I think, said that he wasn't available from 10 to 10:30. So I think we'll be singing the Snap Cut song possibly just in time for Edward to come in. So let's hope that Edward comes in a little bit late, just in time to catch the Snap Cup song. So for those of you that are new, the Snap Cup is inspired by Legally Blonde 2. So it's just a way to share warm fuzzies with the community, and it comes with a song. So snap cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. Oh, thanks. Aaron says groggy and a little pain, but I'm here to sing that song. I wasn't sure you'd be here this morning, love. Aaron is recovering, so everybody send Aaron some love, energy, and healing right now while he recovers. Thank you. So here's our getting closer to our goal to help more people. So this, like I said, for some reason it changed the way it displays names. So I'm sorry for that. I think this is Warrior Poet that says Scorpio 1999. So it changed all of y'all's screen names for me. This week has tested me between finding out my younger brother now has panic disorder, something I'm quite familiar with having this condition myself, and then finding out my path to dentures isn't going to be as straight or short as I thought. It's been tough. I guess my win would be that I didn't throw in the towel and I haven't given up. The idea of the bigger triumph further ahead keeps me going. And if my brother ever needs me, I'm happy to be there, to be here for him. There is so much positivity in this, even through the struggles. I love it so much. I kind of wonder, would you have had the same mindset, say 2 years ago before you came in the community, or is this something that you've kind of cultivated? Because I remember back when you first started doing your wins, you found it a lot more challenging to do those. And I just love watching you grow. So I'm just kind of curious if that is a fair assessment. But, you know, we never want our loved ones to suffer, obviously. But if they do have something that we understand and we can help them with, and that's an opportunity for growth for both of us and for bonding, you know? So while it's not ideal, it's not great that he has the panic disorder, he has someone in his corner that can be there for him and help him and love him through it and give some insights on how to deal with it. And let me tell you, that is huge. I wish I would have had friends that had been through these things so I could have gotten insight and advice for that. So, oh yes, see, Edward, hello. You just missed the song, I think. Darn, I guess maybe I'll have to sing it again. Let's pledge over here so I can sing the Snap Cup song again just for Edward, because I think he really needs that. And then the path to dentures. Oh my gosh, I completely understand more than you could possibly know how difficult it can be when, especially medical stuff, doesn't work out in the way that it should. It shouldn't be this long, arduous process, but it almost always is. It can't just be, hey, I need this done. Okay, insurance deals with it. We go in and get it done. It's either going to take forever because they're really scheduled out. Insurance is going to try and screw you because that's what insurance does, or there's going to be some roadblocks. It's so frustrating. This is I feel this way legally too. When you have legal challenges, I'm getting audited by the IRS right now, and it's so stressful. And it can't just be, okay, here's the issue. Let's fix it. Moving on. It just has to be this huge process. So sorry that you're going through that stress. I am very proud of you for not throwing in the towel, and I know that you'll get there. I know that you'll get this taken care of. David, I think you can relate to this as well, as far as having to fight. So David, I don't want to share anything if it's too personal for you, but I think if you shared a little bit of insight here, I will read whatever comment you post about your own challenges with this. I think that might be very helpful. But yes, the idea of bigger triumph further up ahead keeps you going. And that's what's going to get you there, is knowing that you're going to get there is going to get you there. Because if you have that mindset of, man, it's not going to happen, you're not going to put in the energy to make it happen. So I think you'll get there. Oh, God, geez. Metal Mark says that I still need to work on my snaps. My homework is to practice 500 snaps in the next 2 weeks. I think my hand would fall off or I'd break a nail, and both are very, very tragic. Let's see. Metal Mark says that I'm getting better at singing the Snap Cup song. I love it. Thank you. Andy Newstead says, how do I donate? So if you see there's a thing that says super chat and super sticker, so you can use that. Or if you go into the description of my previous live streams, I post my Venmo and my PayPal for people who want to do it that way or want to do it later. So you can utilize any of those. But if you want to do it here in the stream, it's the super chat, super sticker function. Jake Smith says, my money management is going well. Learned how to separate my streaming expenses from my everything else expenses. I'm still a work in process, but baby steps. You know, everything's a work in process. That's perfect. You're doing amazing. And it feels good when you get that under control and you don't have to stress about it. It really does. So awesome for you for getting that rolling and for making progress, because baby steps are still steps in the right direction. Oh, here we go. So David says, first, you and your doctor need to push the insurance. They assume most people will give up after the first try. Ask the insurance what they need, so you give them exactly what they ask for. Great advice. Vaught, hello. It's been a while. Vaught Vicar says, I bought some new books and started reading more. I spent some time in nature. Oh, those things just sound fabulous right now. I definitely read a lot more in summer, but I'm not really able to get out in nature too much. I can go out for little walks at night and stuff, but it is so hot here right now. The best I can do is my swimming pool, and even that, I think I just spilled. Sorry. The best I can do is like outside my yard in the pool for about 5 minutes, and then I'm I don't deal well with heat. Aaron kind of makes fun of me sometimes because he could probably go out and run in this if it weren't for his healing process right now. He could probably go out and run in this, and I could get to the end of my driveway and be wheezing and overheating. And it doesn't matter. Don't say you just need to drink more water, because I could drink an entire gallon of water and still not be able to tolerate the heat. I just cannot tolerate heat. I've never been able to tolerate heat well. Yes, Ryan. Look, Edward's welcoming you in the pack. A lot of love for Aaron. Thank you guys for the healing, for all that positive energy. Oh, hello, Dottie. Tyler's dog Dottie came in and says hi. Hello, Dottie. Oh, Metalmark says, I really like the color of your fingernails, Amanda. A cool color. And no, I don't paint my nails. Like, I'd judge you if you did. My son and I, when he was younger, David, I'm going to tell this story for all the people that haven't heard it. My son and I, when he was younger, I think it was the anniversary of Chester's passing, which is coming up next week for this year, but it was several years ago. I think it was the anniversary of Chester's passing. There's a nail polish by OPI called Lincoln Park After Dark, and it's spelled differently. It's Lincoln as in Abraham Lincoln, but it's the park that Lincoln Park named the band after. And so we went and got our nails painted and had a great time at the salon. And I posted pictures to my Facebook back when I was super active on Facebook. And this woman comes on and told me that I was worshiping Babylonian gods and teaching my child how to worship Babylonian gods. No, I'm sorry. She told me that I was worshiping the devil. That's what it was. She told me that I was worshiping the devil, that I was supporting Kardashian culture. And when I said, you realize that men have been painting their nails since about 2000 BC in Babylonia, then she goes, well, you're just worshiping Babylonian gods now, so you're worshiping these gods, and blah, and just absolutely lost her mind and could not process that it was just a bonding ritual for me and my son and a way to honor Chester, because he wanted to do that. He wanted to honor Chester too, and Chester used to paint his nails black. But just the thought process behind this woman made me crazy in my head. I just don't understand how people can get that upset over something so petty. It's just a ritual, people, and there are plenty of cultures that practice nail painting for males and females. So I couldn't in any way understand where she's coming from, but I figured you'd get a good laugh out of that. Apparently, I worship Babylonian gods when I went to Albuquerque with David. We went to Albuquerque for my birthday last year and did the Breaking Bad tour. And we ended up at Saul Goodman's nail salon that he works out of the back of in Better Call Saul. And we got ripped off by the nail lady, which, again, I'm still so sorry, David, but at the same time, it was kind of funny that we got ripped off by Saul Goodman's nail lady, but we definitely got black pedicures just to stick it to those people. Let's see. This is so frustrating. This isn't displaying names, because now this is user GS4JT1NX3B. I'm sorry. If you tell me who, oh, it's Ryan. Okay, it says at the end it's Ryan. I happened to look down and saw the name at the very end of the post. So I think this is Ryan Barron. I'm so sorry that it's displaying names weird. Sometimes I put walls up not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. And I found it here. Oh, I'm so glad you found it here. I've done the same thing before. Sometimes I still do. Big snaps to you for letting your walls down to us. We really appreciate it. And we love you, and we do care. And we like seeing the real you. We like seeing all facets and all aspects of our pack, our community members. So I'm really happy that we could be that for you and allow you to be who you really are here. So that makes me happy, Panda. Happy Panda. David says, I laughed every morning seeing my toes. Jesse James 789 says, I established a meaningful relationship with my new therapist. I hug my son at least 3 times a day. I talked to my mom about how she was doing. I took time for myself. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big snaps. Love it, love it, love it. So actually a whole lot of other snaps, because that's a lot of steps. That's a lot of good things going on. It's really difficult to establish meaningful mindsets, friendships, relationships, interactions with a therapist. So I'm happy for you on that one, because I know that can be challenging. Hugging our children or our friends or our pets can really be a mental health boost. Talking to other people about how they're doing, that's why this whole channel exists. So kudos to you for that. And we always need to take time for ourselves. Oh, David says, David Tagden says, Shebug question. I have really bad intrusive thoughts that make me feel like I'm a horrible person. Do you have any ideas to help? They scare me. I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that those intrusive thoughts came from somewhere. So when we're having thoughts about I'm stupid, or I can't do this, or I'm not capable, or I'm ugly, or this depression is going to control me, any of those thoughts we have came from somewhere. So those don't just appear one day. We might think that they do, but they either came from a person, maybe even a TV show, a song, the way somebody made us feel. Maybe they didn't say you're stupid, but they did something that made us feel incompetent, right? So then we started internalizing that. So we don't have to establish where it came from, but once we can establish that these thoughts are just thoughts, they are not absolute truth. And just telling yourself that is a good first step. These thoughts are not absolute truth. I have them too. I have intrusive thoughts too. And I've gotten to the point where I'll say, okay, thank you, and let it go, and sometimes I attach to it, and sometimes I have to actually sit down and do work on it. The first thing we have to do is lessen it, because it's not going to go away, right? But we can address those thoughts. So for me, and I've said this before, what I did was I took the thoughts that were coming up most often and I wrote them all down. So if it was, I'm stupid, I'm a bad mom, whatever the case was, I'm hideous without makeup. That was one of my big ones. Once you stop striving for perfection, you might as well be dead. Monsters don't live happily ever after. These are some of my intrusive thoughts. I wrote those all down, and then I came up with counter thoughts for them. So it was, people can look naturally beautiful. It's, with the monsters don't live happily ever after, first and foremost, now I'm accepting that I'm a monster, and then further asserting that I don't deserve to be happy. For what reason? It's just, when I look at it and I think about it logically, and I kind of put that thought on trial, you could do that in your head, kind of put the thought on trial and say, okay, what's the evidence here? Is there evidence to the contrary? And then use those counter thoughts to combat it. So then whenever it comes up, if you can, say out loud. So say your thought is, I'm stupid. That's your repetitive thought. And that's something a lot of us deal with. If you actually feel that way, if you do feel like you're not intelligent enough, you have the choice to be able to learn new things. You have the choice to be able to learn how to do something, whether that's a new hobby or a new mental health skill. You can perfect these skills. So say to yourself, you know what? I'm learning. Instead of saying I'm stupid, change it to I'm learning. And whenever that comes up in your head and your brain's going, you're so stupid, go, nope, I'm learning. So start replacing those thoughts. And it takes time. It really does. But over time, it can be very helpful. And the affirmation videos I do, almost all of them are things that I have utilized myself. And I actually made a track for myself when I had those intrusive thoughts that I listened to every night for a while, that just had the replacement thought. So it didn't have, here's the intrusive thought and here's the replacement thought. It just had the replacement thoughts. So that way it really put those in my brain. So they kind of became more of the default. I hope that helps. David Worth says, on a great note, I have shared everything about you. You're an inspiration. I'm not stealing Wi-Fi anymore, all because of you. You're an angel, even if a fallen one. Ooh, I'm a fallen one. I have that license plate in my garage, by the way. You're an angel to me. Well, thank you. And I'm totally okay being Lucifer. Because that would make me Lucifer's wife. So yes, I'm gonna take that. John Paul says, since my birthday in December, year 60 seems to be a fine year for me. But this is not about me. I met a very nice young homeless man about 28 in January. He's in recovery. Although I can't financially assist, I check on him often and talk over coffee and a donut. I love it. We both love books by Anne Rice. So I loan him a book every week from my collection. Ooh, what's your favorite one? I'm curious. Last week, he found a place to shower and sleep that is safe, and he owes that person nothing except a thank you. I took him for lunch to celebrate. I wish I could offer him more. Now that I'm writing this, I am realizing he is likely part of the reason that my year has been great. I gained a friend who wants nothing from me, just kindness, which I have in abundance. I owe him another trip to the diner. Thanks, Amanda, for prompting my thoughts. If you haven't seen the video, take a look at Standing With You by Guy Sebastian. I have not, so I'll have to add that to my ever-growing list. It is so perfect for this community. To those in the space, know that you are loved. You very much are. Snaps to you for your new friend. This makes me think of two people that I lost this year. Scotty, the homeless man that I became very good friends with, and we were friends for over a decade until he unfortunately passed from lung cancer earlier, a couple months ago back in May. And I now have his little doggy Windy, but when we first met, I saw him on the side of the road and I took him out to dinner and he broke down and started crying. And this was one of the only times in the decade I knew him that he cried. And he said, you made me feel like I wasn't invisible. Like you saw me. And he was talking about that. And I'll never forget that. We don't need to be able to buy them a house and buy them a car and buy them all these things. We need to be kind, and we need to give them the hope and give them the knowledge that they can get out of this. There is another side to this. So Scotty, I did pay his rent a couple times, before I was able to help him get into a place, I paid for hotels, like on his birthday or when it got really, really hot, I'd pay for hotels and stuff for him, but when I could. But it's not about that. It was about, like you said, this person saw kindness. He saw that another person cared. And in Scotty's case, that empowered him to be able to say, okay, I'm not a lost cause. I'm not broken. Someone sees me. And then we were able to work together to get him into an apartment. He adopted 2 of my foster dogs, one of which now I have again. The other one passed away. But we don't have to love financially. We can love in many other ways. We can love through action. We can love sometimes just through energy, just through sending that person, energy, telling them that we care. There's many ways to share love. And the other person that I lost, we had bonded over Queen of the Damned. So the movie, not the book. So I did have an affinity to Anne Rice for a long time. The last book I read was Tale of the Body Thief. And I read that last year. It was pretty good. But I don't think I'm going to be reading any other Anne Rice novels for a while, just because I'm not ready in my healing process from losing that person. But I'm curious what your favorite one is. If you're in here, if you are watching this later, leave that in the comments, because I'm just curious. Anne Rice was a good author. I will just say, though, there are some places in her writing where she just goes on and on and on. And she spends 7 pages to say, and then he walked down the street. And while it's very poetic and I love the fluidity of her writing, sometimes it's just very overtly descriptive. The other one I really liked, by the way, was Mimnock the Devil. That one was really good too. Oh, Coda James says it's his first time. Hi, Coda. Welcome to the community. I'll try and be gentle since it's your first time. We only have about 10 minutes left, but we'll make it pretty awesome. And we're 60, 70, 80, 90. We're $102 in toward our goal of 250 with 10 minutes remaining. So I just like to give little updates here and there. So Rick says, I went to the hospital with a friend that was in crisis. Well, snaps to you for being there for your friend. In many ways, that can be healing to us as well, just to see, first and foremost, that this person is helped by us, but secondly, watching the process of this person get help can really encourage us and help us to realize that there is another side. So big snaps. Always, Metal Mark, always. Metal Mark says, if you have not failed, then you cannot thoroughly enjoy success. You learn from your failures. And then David said, it's not failure, it's a learning experience. Love it. So I can't even, I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce whatever this is because, again, it's not displaying actual names itself. It's displaying screen names. So that's weird. I'm sorry, but it's Deshayant Chaudhry 4654. I know I butchered that. I'm so sorry. I hope you're in here. But it says, worked, helped my kid ace his math test, self-gratification written all over it. That's okay. You know what? That's okay. He aced his test and you got to feel productive and got to feel needed. So double snaps to you, and congratulations to your kid for acing his math test. With that being said, by the way, I would like to give big snaps to Bryson, my son, who made yearbook. So he'd applied for a yearbook and he was really hoping he can get it. So big snaps to Bryson for getting accepted into yearbook. I really think that it'll be a good experience for him. I was on yearbook one year and newspaper one year for my school, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. So snaps to Bryson too. I need to change my name to Latin just to hear Amanda speak Latin. You know, it would just be. Oh, and here's Rick James. So 2 Ricks back to back. Here's Rick James. Made it through Independence Day without any major issues. A few knee-jerk reactions, but no hitting the ground or having flashbacks, even with idiots shooting firearms in the air or into the ground. Oh my gosh. As I always say, once in war, always in war to a degree. Big win. P.S. Thanks, Amanda, for the affirmation video. It does and did help. You are very welcome. Snaps to you. I'm happy that you made it through Independence Day. I know it can be very difficult for a lot of veterans. That's why I made that video. So big snaps to you for that, and I'm proud of you for your progress. I think you've come really far. It's been really awesome to watch. Oh, 2 more. Paul Young 5878 says, I have finished painting a mechanical dragon figurine for my roommate while she's been in an assisted living facility dealing with physical therapy treatments to get her mobility back. I bet that's going to make her feel so empowered. Snaps to you for doing that, and to her for, fighting to get back on track and things and getting her mobility back. I think that just those symbols can be so powerful, just having something that reminds us of a person. Like I have my Jessica Fletcher picture here that David had sent that says, who's dead? And that kind of reminds me of the community weird. Earl's not in here. So I have the Wolfie. The Wolfie is also a gift from David and reminds me of the community and how sometimes, we're happy and sometimes we're sad, but we're still here together. Sometimes we're sad/angry. I'm not sure what expression that is, but my sad and angry, like I said, anger is not I have one more, isn't the primary emotion, but just having those symbols of support and those symbols of love can be very, very helpful. Rex Deuce 8738 says, still standing. I'm still standing. I love it. Yep, that's what really matters, that you're still here. That's the biggest win. That's the biggest thing we battle day to day, and that's the best thing that we can ask for. So very happy for you. David says, I feel special now. See, but in many ways, like you symbolize the community for me, because I can't have everyone's pictures everywhere all the time. But when I can have these things, I don't have my necklace on right now, but I also have the No Half Measures necklace that, number one, reminds me of the community, but also reminds me when I need it that, I can go into something, I give it a try. Or I can say, you know what, maybe it worked out, maybe it didn't, but I gave it my absolute everything. I didn't half-ass it. So sometimes I need that reminder. And I appreciate those things. Oh no, Rick James, I have donated 100, but it didn't show up. It did go through. I checked just to thank you. Let me look and see what happened. Maybe it showed on the rest of my YouTube page. I also wanted to say, for anyone who might have been messaging, so my happiness boost course, a lot of people were messaging and saying that they really wanted to participate, but there were financial restraints that were keeping them from doing so. And not only did I permanently lower the price to $99, but through July, I'm offering 10-minute Zoom calls for anyone who signs up, just to be able to answer those initial questions and stuff and get to know my new students. So in July, I'm going to be doing 10-minute Zoom. So if you do sign up for the course, it is now going to be $99 for lifetime access. And that includes weekly Q&As. That includes all of the worksheets and cheat sheets and implementation worksheets, videos. You get meditations, several meditations, private meditations from me, exercise videos. So there's dozens of videos in there and hundreds of deep dive questions that really help you up-level your mental health. So let me see. Surprise! I got you. Right, I'm on the stream, love bug.
I know.
You just got snaps. I was giving snaps to you for getting your book. So everybody was saying congrats and giving you snaps and stuff. So thanks for giving me a heart attack today, love.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to join for the last little bit.
That's okay. Now that I've had a heart attack, Oh, David's comment stopped working for about 2 or 3 minutes. See, great job, B. I was trying to check because somebody had made a donation that it wasn't letting me see.
Yeah, I heard Aaron's.
So I was trying to see if it showed it here, but nope, it's not showing it. So hopefully that goes through. Hopefully that will appear at the end. But I'm sorry, comments were turning off, and hopefully we get that worked out. David says, great job on the jump scare. So look at this, we have a special guest today. Isn't that awesome?
We got 2 special guests.
Oh, we have Ricky boy. Ricky's not gonna need to go potty. You just scared him. He was sleeping.
I scared 2 people.
You scared the poop out of him. He's old. He's geriatric. You don't want to scare the geriatric dog. He might not recover. Middle Mark says, congrats to Bryson. My 2 grandsons, my wife's side, made honor roll the entire year. Again this year. Hi, Vincent. Thank you. Thank you so much. How are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while, so I hope that you are thriving here. Yes, this is Ricky. Ricky actually needs to go potty. Can you take Ricky potty?
I guess.
Thank you. See if Dodger will go out with you too. And Windy girl. Thank you, Vincent. Yeah, that's exactly what Ricky said. He just had that look that expressed, I hate you so much right now for waking me up. I know that look because I've had that look before where somebody wakes you up because you have an appointment or something and you give them that stare and it's Friday! It's Friday, and I just realized that I haven't watched my morning kill count that comes out on Friday, so I know what I'm going to be doing after this. As I was about to say, as kill counts start cycling through my head, I've had such a busy morning that I haven't been able to do that, so I'm going to be doing that. That's going to be my win. Now you're tip-talking back in. No, Ricky does not like Taco Bell. However, his dad does sometimes get him teriyaki chicken, which is awful. But no, él no quiere Taco Bell.
Our old dog Paris liked the puppuccino things.
Oh yeah, on her last day, we had taken her to the different restaurants and stuff. So we got a little bit of Del Taco and some chicken nuggets from Burger King and different things like that. And we got her a little puppuccino from Starbucks, and we'd never gotten it for before, but she liked that.
I like Taco Bell.
Vincent says, doing good. I'm better at dealing with my stuff that I can't control, which is my daughter, though it is still tough at times. I'm managing, and I know everyone else can also with their troubles. Yes, big snaps for you. And I can tell you right now that sometimes it's really difficult. It's really difficult being a parent sometimes, but look at that smile. Look at that smile. You love your smile. Can I tell them about your decision with when they suggested that you get braces? Can I tell them about that?
Yeah.
I was so proud of Bryson. This was so awesome because here, smile real fast. Can you smile? So they were telling Bryson that he needs braces. The dentist was saying that he needs braces. And he said, I don't want braces. And I asked him if it was because he was scared of them. And he said, no, I just love my smile. And I said, then we're not getting braces. Like, we don't need to do anything. It's all about feeling good and feeling confident and loving yourself. So I don't think that it is necessary if he doesn't want them because he is confident. And that was a proud mom moment. Who actually likes Taco Bell. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I miss Taco Bell.
I like Taco Bell. I understand how he said that's disgusting. If I eat too many burritos from Taco Bell, I will throw up. And I have a lot of, gas.
See, I feel like Taco Bell is rent-a-food because you don't even buy it. It's already leaving your system before you even leave the restaurant. So I always called it rent-a-food. Even back when I ate it, it was always rent-a-food. Well, hopefully, Rick, that shows up because I think, let's see, 150, 670, 90. I think we were just about $40 short of our goal if Rick's goes through. So hopefully that goes through and we can share more wins in the community here in a couple weeks. And I will let you guys know. Like I said, I'm really wanting to do pictures or maybe little video shorts and stuff for that. I just haven't figured out an appropriate way to approach that. So hopefully I will find a way to do that because I want to be sharing with you guys these people, so we can see their faces. I know that that's very important. I like to see the faces of the girls I serve through Days for Girls and stuff. So I'm trying to think of a tactful way to do that. And Edward says, B, you wish you got braces when you're an old fart like me. Go get some cool ones. No, Edward.
I heard they're painful. There's 6 kids in my class that regret it.
they don't feel great. And I mean, you have a beautiful smile. I would understand if there were certain issues, but I think it's a personal choice, and if you feel good about yourself and you're confident about yourself, then I don't think it's necessary. Now, that's also a choice that you could change later, right, Bryson? That if it's something that later you decide, you know what, my teeth are moving a little bit more and I'm going to reassess that decision, we can always reassess later, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Taco Bell's good on occasion. I can't hate on those Dorito Locos. Those didn't exist back when I ate Taco Bell, so I've never had one. It did go through. I checked my bank online. Okay, so we're only about $40 short of our goal. No, don't get braces. Seriously, it's a personal decision. I support you either way. You know that.
David, you're not a fossil fart.
No, that would be Indiana Jones. What? Oh, gosh.
I haven't seen any of the Indiana Jones.
Well, there's one in the theaters right now.
Yeah, I might watch that one, but it's probably not going to make sense to me.
Yeah, don't watch it if you've never watched the other ones. I just had to drop that on David. Send me when you're 25 and have braces. I know people that are older and have braces. Hey, you're shaking the whole thing, so it's like there's an earthquake.
I'm too
Indiana
tall
Jones,
for the
right?
camera.
Jake Smith says Indiana Jones. What?
I'm too tall for the camera.
Oh, Jake says now we made it. See, that one came through. So that's weird that this one came through, but the other one didn't. How weird.
We made it?
Yes, I believe we made our goal. Our goal for the
got
week.
asked
So that
20.
Okay. Thank you. So we can do more outreach and stuff. Thank you. Someone did once call me a fossil. I got sidetracked there. Jake was saying Indiana Jones. What? I went and saw the new Indiana Jones movie, and it was okay. Like, there were a lot of positive aspects to it, but on the same token, I'm just thinking, please don't make another one, because the next one's going to be Indiana Jones in the nursing home pudding cup of doom or something. Just please end it there. Let it be a good franchise. Stop trying to cash cow things that need to move on, and from what I understand, Harrison Ford was pretty much just wanting to say, look, I'm old now, so please stop asking me to do this. From my understanding, this was his final goodbye, and they did pretty good at sending him off in a positive way.
I heard there's they already have a picture for it, and they're already in the making of it, but they're making the new Donkey Kong Country movie.
Oh, that'll be interesting to see how that goes. David says, I think the first donation was when the comments weren't working. Well, I really hope that goes through. I'm going to be very sad if that doesn't go through. Not just for the channel, but because I don't want you to be out.
I think his first donation was when the comments.
CP368 Production says, never saw Indiana Jones movies. I had made it into my adult life without seeing Indiana Jones movies until Aaron decided that I needed to be indoctrinated, and David too, for that matter. So y'all peer pressured me. I gave in. I just haven't seen what is the Crystal Skull one that everybody says is really terrible. I haven't seen that one, but I've now seen all the rest of them, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I've seen all of them now.
Nobody get mad at me. I haven't seen any Indiana Jones movies in my life.
David Gepp says, I'm looking forward to Fast and the Furious 99 electric wheelchair jump of death. See, I'm waiting for Fast and the Furious 666, where they go to hell to save Paul Walker.
Aaron says you haven't seen Temple of Time.
I thought I did. Oh, okay. I thought I did see Temple of Doom.
I do miss the wheelchair.
Hey, calm down. Sorry. Also got her to see Princess Bride. Yes. Oh, there's apparently a new Godzilla movie.
I heard about that. Me and Eric were scrolling through Godzilla, and I found out two things. There's a movie, and there's 3 different animes for it.
Interesting. I found out there's a new Wonka prequel coming out. That's an origin story of Willy Wonka, which actually didn't look completely terrible. So I'm kind of excited for that. I want to see how that.
I watched a little bit of the Godzilla anime, the other one. It's only 8 episodes, but it's called Godzilla Singular Point. I don't know why it doesn't even look like Godzilla.
Well, they like to change things up, so it's different.
Actors and
well, that is That is our hour. Thank you guys very much. I'll keep you updated, as always, on the people that we can help in the community with the pledges and stuff. So thank you very much. I hope that gets worked out with Rick. I will check and let you know, because it will display all donations after the stream, after I end. So I will let you know. Thank you guys for another wonderful stream. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Extra kisses.